Welcome back, subscribers. Hello, YouTube viewers. This is another site I stumbled into while travelling to a town. Please enjoy. It's a lovely old homestead, a tribute to some of our pioneers. Now, there are a number of, I'll call them rustic homesteads leading into Cape Clear, and this is just one of them. This looks like it's got two properties on it, like a granny flat out the back. Maybe the workers' cottage. It's got its own fireplace, two fireplaces at the front for the main house. There's also, that looks like it's made out of asbestos actually, the old corrugated iron shed. Very, very nice. These are terrific. I actually, look, I don't know why I stop at these things. And I'm assuming I'm not the only one that stops at these sort of old properties. And you can't help but try to get closer to them. It does have a TV antenna next to the chimney, if you can see that. It's fallen over. So at one stage it was, you know, it had TV. So we're looking, what, the 60s, 70s, 80s, when reception was coming through for the TV antenna. So it's not something that's, you know, 100 years old and just collecting dust. It has been used probably in the last 50 years, I'd guess, and then eventually probably got to a state where it wasn't viable to maintain, or some other circumstances. People get old, people don't have kids, kids want to go to uni and do other things and work on the farm. Who knows? I'm just speculating. But yeah, there's quite a number of these properties in and around Cape Clear. So it's interesting how there's two water tanks to the property. You can see maybe in the image how the chimney has come away from the house itself. I like the horseshoe on the front door to bring them some luck. But yeah, she's had her day. Now, if I can get in there safely, I will. If I can't, I won't. Let's just see how we go. Once again, I can't reiterate the need for sturdy boots. There are nails everywhere, so you've got to be very careful. Things that you don't notice in the video, there's a strong smell of dampness. And just look at that, the old trough in the bath, in the laundry. As a little kid, I recall that we had one, and we lived in, I think where we had one as a family was in a place called Hughesdale. Now, if you know where Chatston is, shopping centre, we lived right near there, and as little kids, we used to go to Chatston before it is what it is today. There's your hot water unit, so it suggests that it hasn't been all that old before this was no longer in use. There's your toilet. There's me. It is. Look, I love these sort of places. Once again, I'm just hoping people don't come out this way and do vandalism or graffiti or anything stupid like that. Just appreciate them for what they are. There's just so much history here. The floor looks very, very rickety. As you can see there, probably you got holes. So this is the front property. This is the main bedroom, or the main house, or the homestead. Fantastic fireplace. Just lovely. Now, the front veranda did crash down. Second fireplace, lovely. It would have been a house in its day. I'll check the PowerPoints. I'm not sure if people are aware, but that's what I look for. See how old they are. That does not look all that modern. That looks like from the 50s and 60s. But she is a beauty. We'll go through here. Bedroom, I guess. Yep. Okay. And we're going to go now into like the little granny flat. And it's actually the kitchen. So this is an outdoor kitchen. Wow. A totally separate dwelling to the house. So there's your kitchen bench. The old wood oven to cook your meals on. That's pretty special. You don't get to see that often. Your cabinets. The fridge. Frigidaire. I don't even think they're in business anymore. So there you go. Wow, that's quite interesting. So this is part of the kitchen, separate to the house. All right, I'll make my way out now. Now, this is where, now if you want to have the scare of your lifetime, this is what I stumbled into. I could smell it, and we've got a fox that unfortunately has passed away. And he's lying there, but boy, did he scare the bejesus out of me. So somehow he's got in there. I don't know if you can see it, and that's where he's called it a day. Now, just across the road, there's also another older vacant dwelling. Much better condition than this one. I'm just giving you the side profile. So I'm assuming someone's bought up the land. They got the house, didn't want anything to do with the house and just left it, cordoned it off, and farmed the land it sits on as well. We'll have a look at this corrugated shed and see what we find in there. So we'll make our way into the shed. Make sure we're not going to step on anything or anyone. Dead or living. A lot of nails, be careful. And this looks like some sort of stable. This has been here a long time. As you can see, they're just using regular tree trunks. Not necessarily wood that's been prepared to make up the frame, which is terrific. I think that's how they used to do it back in the day. Nothing much here. This is terrific. This is just on the other side of the shed. We're still at that corrugated shed. And they've got their old carts. And yep, that was used for horses. You can see the old, the gear that you strap to the horse. Wow. So there you have it. Your standard country property out in the middle of the nowhere. And back in the day, this would have been quite the house. And the neighbours across the road there, there's no one there at the moment. It's all vacant, but it's a much better home. The roof has got holes in it, the one across the road. But it's just lovely to see. Now, I can't reiterate that it's really important that if you do stop and have a bit of a look, that the only thing that you're really taking away from it is photos and video images of it. Because it won't be all that much longer when all this is just fallen over to ruin. And we'll never know how the pioneers lived their life. It was relatively simple compared to today. Not too many mod cons. I think the biggest mod cod they had was the introduction of the TV, with the antenna. Oh, they probably had the wireless, so they would have listened to the radio. But it's quite interesting because even when we visit the cemetery, we will find that a lot of them have served overseas during the First and Second World Wars, and a lot have since passed. And you sort of think that's if you look at the ratio of the population of these small towns compared to how many people did serve, it's quite high. It was an important thing, a very much a patriotic thing to do for the farmers. I think it was a balancing act where they would send maybe their kids off and still maintain the land, or the fathers would go and let the older boys who aren't quite of age to serve to look after the land. No idea. I'm just also speculating again. But as you can see, that house that's in the middle of the screen now, the bluey one, oh, not bluey one, sorry, it's a brown sort of one with the white chimney you can see maybe between the trees. That's opposite to here. So there you go.